Today we're diving into one of the most talked about companies in the tech world, Palantir. You've probably heard of it, and whether you love it or you're still scratching your head wondering what it actually does, I promise, by the end of this video, you'll have a much clearer idea. Spoiler alert, Palantir is growing fast, but with all that growth, is the stock price a bit too high? We're gonna talk about that. Let's go. Palantir, the software company making waves. Palantir is possibly everywhere, from automating military defense systems to providing AI tools for big governments and Fortune 500 companies. The company's growth has been nothing short of impressive, especially over the last few years. But, of course, with great growth comes, well, great skepticism. Let's start with the basics. Investors love Palantir's growth story. The company has ramped up its revenue, and it's clear that AI is at the heart of everything they do. But here's the kicker, despite all this growth, Palantir's stock is trading at a forward price-to-earnings ratio of around 160. That's pretty high, right? To give you some context, that means investors are willing to pay 160 times Palantir's expected earnings just to own a piece of the company. That's, pretty steep. It's like buying a fancy coffee machine at a 160% markup just because someone says it makes magic coffee. But does it? Is it really magic? Well, that's where Palantir's story gets interesting. Demand is exploding, especially in the US. Now, while this high valuation might make some investors nervous, Palantir's CEO, Alex Karp, is anything but nervous. According to Karp, there's been a massive avalanche of demand, particularly in the US. Now, Karp's not just throwing around buzzwords. Palantir has been making huge strides in the US, particularly with its AI-powered solutions. And get this, demand isn't just growing in the US, Europe's starting to come around too, with a 4% growth rate. Europe's a bit behind the US when it comes to embracing Palantir's AI, but I've got a theory. Over there, they're still stuck in the mindset of, if we don't build it, we can't buy it. I mean, can you blame them? Europe's kind of known for being a little more traditional. But here's the thing, Alex Karp is optimistic. He believes that once Europe gets over this "we have to build it ourselves" mentality, they could see even more growth than the US. Palantir's vision and the battle for innovation, but let's take a step back for a second. If Palantir has been right about AI, national security, and software infrastructure for years, why is there this weird tension? Why did so many people seem to try to silence them? Let's talk about that. The thing is, when Palantir started pushing the envelope on AI and data integration, they weren't exactly well liked by everyone. Why? Well, because Palantir's whole mission is to innovate, disrupt, and question the status quo. And guess what? Some people, and companies possibly don't like being questioned. Big corporations, for example, often benefit from the status quo. If you're the head of a legacy company that's been running on outdated infrastructure for decades, the last thing you want is someone telling you that it's time for an overhaul. And let's not forget about national security agencies, which have their own vested interests in certain ways of operating. When you introduce new, disruptive technology, it shakes things up. It means people have to rethink the way they do business, and that can make a lot of powerful people uncomfortable. And here's the real kicker, those people, whether in corporations or government, might fight any progress that disrupts their comfortable, long-standing systems. By the way, if you are benefiting from the content so far and want more like this, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications bell, and comment the word "more." Just go ahead and type the word "more" so I know. Now that you've commented, let's continue. But wait. A bad stock will not do anything except ruin your portfolio. That's why in Super Wealth Builders, you will learn the specific investing principle for long-term investors who want to make millions. Now, dollar-cost averaging principle of investing is easy. But the harder part is finding great companies to invest in, which is why you need to join us in Super Wealth Builders team. Find the link in description if you are interested in building long-lasting wealth even for your children's children. Thank you. But here's the truth, if you ignore innovation, it's only a matter of time before it catches up with you. And that's exactly what we're seeing now, with demand for Palantir's solutions surging, especially in the US. The consequences of sticking with outdated infrastructure are becoming painfully clear. Palantir's path to $800. Alright, let's talk about the future. A lot of analysts are forecasting big things for Palantir in the near future, and some are even predicting it could hit a valuation of $800 per share. Now, I know what you're thinking, $800? That's a big jump. But hear me out. Palantir's AI-powered platform, AIP, is exploding in demand. And as businesses and governments continue to adopt AI at an accelerated rate, Palantir is in the perfect position to cash in. The company's been ahead of the curve for years, so it's no surprise that as more and more industries wake up to the power of AI, Palantir's growth trajectory is looking pretty golden. If Palantir's growth continues at this pace and the demand for AIP keeps skyrocketing, don't be surprised if it reaches that $800 mark sooner than we think. You've got AI revolutionizing everything from business operations to defense systems, and Palantir's at the center of it all. Don't fear the avalanche, embrace it. Here's the bottom line, there's no denying Palantir's business is growing fast, and their valuation is high. It's also true that Europe's catching up, but they still have a long way to go. The world is shifting toward AI and national security integration, and Palantir is leading the charge. If the company continues to innovate and expand at this rate, the sky's the limit. So, what does that mean for investors? If you're on the sidelines, the question is, are you ready to ride the avalanche of demand that's coming? Because Palantir is just getting started. And hey, if you're already invested, congratulations, you might just be looking at a very lucrative future. Alright, folks, that's all for today. I want to know, what do you think of Palantir? Is it a bubble, or is it the next big thing? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Now, we've talked about the rapid growth and the sky-high valuation, but let's also take a moment to understand why Palantir is so unique in the tech world. Because, honestly, the company's business model is like nothing else. While many companies rely on simple SaaS products, Palantir operates in a completely different league, one that's directly tied to national security, complex data integration, and cutting-edge AI applications. Unlike other companies that just sell software licenses, Palantir's technology is deeply embedded in the operations of governments and major industries. They're not just offering another data tool, they're providing the backbone for critical decision-making. Imagine using AI to predict the trajectory of a missile in real time, or using Palantir's software to prevent financial fraud by identifying patterns in massive datasets. That's the level of complexity we're talking about here. And here's the kicker, Palantir's ability to customize its platform is what sets it apart. The company tailors its software to every client, whether it's the US Department of Defense, a global healthcare provider, or a major corporation. This level of customization means that Palantir's solutions aren't just off-the-shelf products, they're mission-critical infrastructure. That's why the demand is only going to keep increasing. Facing the growing competition, of course, Palantir isn't the only player in the AI and data analytics space. They've got competition. Companies like Microsoft, IBM, and Google are all racing to capture a piece of the AI pie. But here's the thing, Palantir's unique combination of advanced AI capabilities and national security involvement places it in a niche that few can touch. Sure, there are tons of companies out there offering data analytics and AI solutions, but most of them don't have Palantir's track record of working on high-stakes projects like counterterrorism, intelligence analysis, and military operations. That's what makes Palantir different. If these other companies want to get into this space, they'll have to compete with Palantir's deep integration and unparalleled expertise. It's kind of like the difference between a hobbyist building a drone in their garage and a defense contractor designing a stealth bomber. Sure, both are technically drones, but only one of them is going to be flying over the battlefield, right? The power of AIP, the future is here. Let's talk about the future. Palantir's flagship AI product, AIP, is revolutionizing the way organizations handle data and artificial intelligence. With AIP, businesses and governments can leverage predictive analytics, real-time data processing, and AI-driven decision-making. It's our privilege that God, the creator of heaven and earth, will bless us abundantly, make us the head and not the tail if we love Him and obey His commandments. Please acknowledge Him in your plans and He will direct your paths. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6. Want more information? Please check the description section. Also again, if you are interested in learning how to find great companies and build lasting wealth, consider becoming a member. Link in the description section. If you have watched until the end, drop a comment like this: I stayed until the end. Just comment that I stayed until the end. When I see this comment, I will give you a heart. There are 3 more important steps to build wealth. First, like this video, subscribe and then turn on the notifications bell. If you do this, you highly motivate me to continue bringing to you educative and transformative videos every week. Do not miss out on our future videos full of knowledge and wisdom. All I am asking is your subscription. Thanks for joining us today. Your support is appreciated so much. Do not hesitate to share this video to help someone. I recommend that you watch the next video, subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts about today's video. Thank you. See you in the next video by God's grace. We love you, and blessings to you.